So now let's get to it. Same technique, we are pointing the lens wide open at a chart at relatively close focusing distance to minimize the depth of field and maximize our precision. And we're going to start from 0, which is the perfect back focus for the lens, and then use the same technique. We're going to go to the telephoto position, and we are going to, let me just punch in the nice thing about these new cameras is that you can punch into a pixel level, so you can actually have, no matter how high resolution the camera is, you can see what the camera sees. So every pixel, if it's sharp on the screen, that means it's going to be as sharp as possible on the on the camera. So what we're doing here, as you can see, I'm barely moving the focus ring at the telephoto position, and we can see a drastic change of focus. So let me just get it where I think it's right, or so. And now we are still punched in. So now we're going to zoom it all the way wide and do the same thing, refocus again. But this time we're not going to touch the focusing ring, which is our front focus, which is for testing purposes only used at the telephoto position on the zoom. And then we are going to actually effectively move the lens in relation to the sensor by changing the thickness of our adapter. So it's at 0 now, that means it's perfect back focus. And let me punch in a little bit more. Still punched in. So let me just zoom it. Okay, and now I'm going to zoom it in so we can see the image better. Let me punch in now. Okay, so now we have the image as big as possible. We're looking at the image at the pixel level, and I'm going to move our back focus and find out where the sharpest focus is. Sometimes you just need to look at the moire, and then where there is the most color, that's where your image peaks with sharpness. And it seems to be around here for me. Okay, so, and there we are. We can still, just to see if our front focus is still correct, we should probably just zoom it back in, and we magnify the image even more with the zoom and the punch in. And as you can see, I'm barely moving the focusing ring, and the image is just going completely soft. So it's kind of nice because we can see the change of focus very easily. Okay, so it's probably close to the same place. And then I'm gonna move back and do our back focus again. Okay, so I think here. All right, yeah, so our scale, our little scale tells us that we are indeed to the minus, meaning that the image is sharp in front of the sensor when it was 0, and it is by 0.003 of an inch, or between 2 and 3,000 of an inch. So now we can take the lens out, take it to the workbench and replace the shims, and see if we can remove 0.002 of a shim, and that should put the image right where we need it to be. We'll put it back on the camera and test it again. In conclusion, we just finished checking our lens back focus. We found out it was indeed long, between 2 and 3,000. Needs the adjustment. Next, we're going to be putting it on the bench and taking it apart and fixing it. We used our camera as a baseline because we determined this is how we test cameras here at OptiTek. We determined that it was correct, the lens was off, And if you find this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel. We'll be continuing with these educational videos. This is Jacek at OptiTek. Thank you.